Whether if it's your first ever surgical rotation or if you're rotating out to a new unit for a fellowship, first days can make or break the rest of your rotation, and this video is going to help you sidestep common mistakes and maximize the value of your first day. Now stay tuned till the end because I'll give you a template to make sure everything goes off without a hitch. Hi, for those new here, I'm Mason, I'm a cardiothoracic surgeon, and starting off in number 1, that is to forget to find out what exactly your duties are before your supervisor arrives. Now, I know it's a lot to ask for to have you hit the ground running on day 1, but even though it's your first day, it's just a continuation from yesterday for everyone else. Now, to get off on a great start, reach out to a fellow resident or even the unit secretary to get that information. Now, if those aren't options, then proactively emailing your supervisor could work wonders. Now, it could be anything from clinics to ward rounds to operations to consults, it could be anything. And it's a steep climb to master everything on day 1, but it's not about getting everything right, it's about showing the willingness and determination to show up and get started immediately on day 1. Now, with the first task of the day out of the way, it's time to talk about something that doesn't wait for anyone to settle in: emergencies. To number 2, that is forgetting to find out what urgent conditions you need to deal with immediately, because you do not want to be completely frozen when the clock is ticking. Now, this could vary vastly across specialties, but the commonality would be a trauma call. So you need to figure out things like how you're going to be informed of the trauma coming in, or where the trauma bay is, or what your responsibilities are upon arriving at the trauma bay. Now, you need to prepare for these because these aren't going to wait for you, which brings us very nicely onto number 3, who are you going to call when you run into trouble? Now, if there's one thing that you take away from this video, that is you need to identify the go-to person you can call in the case of an emergency, and you do that ASAP. Let me tell you a story. Now, a friend of mine who rotated from neurosurgery to cardiothoracics, he was called down to the trauma bay within 45 minutes of starting his first day. Now, not having any background in cardiothoracics, he was faced with a patient with a penetrating chest injury with a rebar through and through his left chest with massive hemothorax. He's in shock, he's unstable, and he did not know what to do at all. But he was the only guy on site who would have decided whether the patient needs to go to CT or go directly to the OT. Now, the senior nurse spotted this issue and told him that there's actually a direct line to the senior resident of that day who is designed to take care of the situation. And thank God he did come in, and otherwise it could have been a very messy situation. Now, I'm curious, what crazy emergencies did you have to deal with on your first day? Let me know in the comment section below. And with that, let's move on to the final 2 tips that has a huge impact on your ability to make quality decisions. And coming in number 4, that is finding out about on-call necessities. Now, why rush to on-call necessities? Number 1, if you don't do it now, you're gonna forget, and you're gonna be scrambling in the middle of the night for something that you do not have. Number 2, it takes time to get your kit together, and there's never enough of it. So have a chat with other residents beforehand. You might find out that the central AC is unadjustable, so the call room is a bit of a freezer. You're gonna need to bring an extra blanket for that. Or if you're trying to get some work done and the Wi-Fi is a bit spotty, you're gonna need your own personal hotspot for that. Remember, good rest equals sharp performance, and taking your on-call prep seriously is essential to your biological functions. And speaking of biological functions, it takes us very nicely onto the last point, that is, do not forget the bathroom codes. The last thing you need is a bathroom blockade when everyone else is going 30 miles an hour. So as soon as you can, find out where the key is kept, what the codes are, and put that information in your phone, in your notebook, or tattoo it to your arm, whatever. Just make sure those are retrievable immediately when you need them. Starting a new rotation is an absolutely intimidating experience, and at least it was for me. You're not expected to be flawless, but it helps to be prepared to put your best foot forwards, which is why I developed this template for me to put in information and withdraw it whenever I need. And that template is available for you. Just like this video and check out the description below. Now, I got something that I want your help with. I've always been disappointed by how tips and tricks like these are passed down by word of mouth alone and never available to everyone. If you found this information useful, by subscribing to this channel, you let me know that this is valuable content for people who are coming after us. And on that note, I'm Mason, signing out.